No, I was at a meeting today with a retired Army colonel, and I was there to get information that he got from a family member of his that works for the Federal Emergency Management Agency. Now, I took a lot of notes, and before I even got there, this guy's OPSEC was it was amazing. It was unbelievable. And I'll only talk about that in like private message type of deals. But anyway, besides that, I had to take a lot of notes. There was no recording at all. So I took a lot of notes, and I had to bring up a lot of talking points here. And I just got home a little while ago, and I'm pretty tired. But I feel this is something I got to get out. I'm ready for a hot meal, a shower, and get to bed. But anyway, here we go. What they're saying is just what was said at this meeting and what was relayed to him is that just from sheer scientific data alone, just that alone, and that's from data they're compiling and putting together, they are expecting an escalation in natural disasters like nothing recorded in history. Now, with that being said, that covers a lot of avenues as far as natural disasters and such. So I'll talk about some things that they're very concerned about. And this is FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency. They are very concerned at this point in time about losing critical infrastructure, certain parts. As far as water, the municipalities of the water system, where you turn your tap on and the water comes out, you flush the toilet and the back fills back up. That's going to be a very serious problem coming up pretty soon. Now, something else they're looking at, and we already know that this is on the chain here, is unpredictable and unusual weather patterns. Well, what it's doing is, and this is what they were talking about in the meeting, as far as, there was scientists, there were seismologists, these were independent scientists, as far as also state, local, everything. And, seismologists, geologists, they had all these people at this meeting. And they were briefing them after this large earthquake over in Ecuador and the other ones in Japan. Because these people had come to them before with a lot of this information that they don't even understand. And they kind of brushed them off. Well, now they got all called into a high-level briefing on a Saturday morning. So anyway, what they're talking about is these unpredictable and just the unusual weather patterns that we're seeing. They're causing what they're calling a major strain on the fault lines. So that's what's happening with a lot of your earthquake swarms that are occurring right now. And so another thing that they're very concerned about is this is what was mentioned. And I took notes on it. I can't explain it. Hopefully somebody out here can maybe chime in the comments. But they're saying that they are very concerned at this time about water weight. Now, the only thing that I can think of on that is that, anytime, the only thing that I can think of, and I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but anytime that there's a large body of water that's formed, so to say, from rain, from flooding, from, this, that, and the other, anytime there's a large body of water formed, the ground underneath, experiences changes. And it's due to what you would consider like a stress load, because water is so heavy. Now, another thing that was mentioned there, which I don't have a lot of detail on this, but they're saying that scientists are very concerned and worried about the weight on all the coastlines. And I'm not sure if that's just national, but if it's national, it'd have to be global if you think about it. But they're saying that they're very, very concerned. And, towards the end of this video here, I'm going to take you and show you a map of, strategic areas where I was shown that they are setting up. Now, we'll get into that. But they're also, they're preparing. This really blew me away. It really took me away, because I started thinking about a lot of things that we've seen over this year and last year. But they're preparing on a large scale for major separation of landmass. And like the evacuations and migrations of people that are going to come with all that. I mean, that's the words that were used. I mean, that's just major separation of landmass. So that just got me thinking. Although I shut up and I just listened, but that's really got me going. Major separation of landmass. And another thing that was brought up, and this was mainly from the seismologist side and geology side, is that, and these guys were, I mean, it was, yeah, from what I'm hearing, it was really, it was pretty deep You could cut the air with a knife. It was, the stress was so thick, I guess you could say. But what they're saying is large earthquake swarms are gonna become the new normal. So where we normally would have 3.5s, 4.0s, this and that and the other, you're gonna have swarms. Where we'd normally have swarms of 2.5s, 3.0s, this, that, and the other in a certain area, it may uptick to 6.5s, 7.5s, 7.0s, this, that, and the other. And those, and that could trigger a megaquake. But that's what was put out. I'm just relaying what was given to me, and I'm presenting it to you. And again, with the geologists and the seismologists and the other independent scientists that were there, these people are so confused right now, and they're reporting things that they don't even understand. They're reporting large changes, like changes that are happening so fast. See, in a geology sense and in seismology, things happen over a great period of time. And that's where they're very, very concerned at this point in time, because all these changes are happening very rapidly. And again, we just put a video out not long ago where we talked about how they was going to be censoring data coming out of Yellowstone, and even not so much censoring it, but delaying all the information. And what did they do? When you get right on that website now, nothing is real time. It's all cataloged, and it's from the day before, or it's from hours before. So they're trying to hide data, but at the same time, and they're going to censor data. So you're not going to, where there's maybe a 3.5 or a 4.0 or a 6.5 or whatever on the scale, there may be several of those, because we've seen that before. But they're censoring them now, so they might pull a few of them. And then also that data is censored. This was a long, exhausting day, but like I say, it's it was just a lot of information to take in all at one time. And we can talk about this more in the comment section, and and go over a lot more, and maybe bring more information to the table. But another thing they was concerned about globally, they didn't talk about a lot of global things. But because I believe that, just me personally, I believe that all of these things are global concerns. But one of the global concerns they were talking about is that they're very, very shaky about, there's 38 volcanoes that are active and erupting at this time across this planet. So let me take you to the map. I want to show you the map, and I want to show you where they're setting up and doing a lot of things for what they would consider relief efforts, volunteer. So let's go to the map. Okay, everyone, I want to show you real quick where they are positioning, where they're positioning their resources and strategic locations for what they're considering relief efforts. Okay, now I hope you guys can see my cursor here. It's moving over towards the East Coast. They're setting up through Ohio, all the way down through here, West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, down through towards Alabama, but they're stopping right in here. Now, I'm trying to be as exact as I can from what the guy showed me on the map that he had. Over here, they're coming from Montana and Idaho down this area right here. Coming right down through here, right across Wyoming. Right down through Colorado, and right by Arizona, right between Arizona and New Mexico. This is where they are setting up all their relief efforts. Now they got more set up. They're coming in right in here by Nebraska, and they come down midway through Kansas, if I'm not mistaken, from the map he had, and they stop right there. So we're talking right over here by South Dakota, Nebraska, right just touching into Kansas, and they stop right there. So these three locations right here we're looking at, coming through Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, down through Kentucky and Tennessee, and then over here, Montana, Idaho, across through Wyoming. This is where, and then right here from South Dakota, right down here, just to by the tip of Kansas area, and they stop. This is where they are basically setting up all their strategic resources, what they call it, because they want stuff to be in the areas so relief efforts are faster. Now, something else that they said before I left is the guy told me what was told to him. He said it would be who of you to make sure that you have preparations for, at the very least, months of being off grid. Months. Days, weeks, that's not going to get it. You want to be able to stay months off the grid, and that's just waiting on relief. So, I don't know. There it is. That's the information I got. I know it's a lot to take in. It was a lot for me, but let's chew it up in the comments and see what we can come up with and just talk about it. Other than that, You guys have a good night, and stay at the ready. As always, take care.